Sorry I'm late. It's Friday. Doesn't feel like Friday for me. I don't know what day it feels like. My days are all usually messed up anyway. I don't go by any set schedule. I go by kettlebell days. This day I do this specific kettlebell workout. The next time I do this specific kettlebell workout. Sorry. I get mesmerized, but not in a good way, at my own facial hair. Hey, Kat. Good morning, Yogi. Hello, friends. Hey, Lady Sky. Lady Sky, when you leave today? Lady Sky says, for some reason I can't type in your chat room, Kat. Did something wrong to you? Did my apologies to you? Nope. I asked her that. And she said nope. Weird. Hey, Marlon. I'm always mesmerized by cat. Not this cat, but that cat. This cat just sits here and looks at me and meows at me. All right. Let's talk about something we haven't really talked about much before. Hey, Long John. Not that I haven't talked about it. Not that I haven't had my own experiences. Nah, she makes noise quite often. Most often in the middle of the night at the foot of my bed. No other reason, just to wake me up. Just to let me know she's still here. All right. Long John says her name is Marlin. No. My cat's name is not Marlin. I guess it would be as serviceable as the other names that I have for her. And the other one. So Jim Dundee's name is Marlin, by the way. Lady Scott says, can you tell Tiger King that I'm going out of town for Thanksgiving? I will. You won't be able to sing, Yogi. I know he will be asking you. He will be asking me. And even if I give him an answer, he will be asking me. Did you wake up at 3:30? Me? I was up at 2:15. I'm awake at 2:15 pretty much every morning. Rare occasion when I have my alarm set for 2:17. I don't know why. But it's very rare that I actually wake up with the alarm. So it was about 2:15-ish that I woke up. Every morning, every day. Brunettes are redheads. Brown doesn't exist. Where did this information come from? Let me get my shoes. I have finally broke up. I got this as a Christmas present. My last new pair of shoes. They got excellent tread, by the way. I just didn't want to wear them out. These are Flux. They are zero drop. I love them. All shoes should be zero drop. There's no need for massive cushioning. But they're hard to put on in the morning, so I don't wear them often. But it's time, as I'm tired of having... sorry, guys. I'm tired of having my feet being poked by all the holes that are in my shoes. All right, there's one. It's a monumental effort. All right, guys, as I said, I want to talk about something we don't talk about much. Average mystery novel author. I have no idea what that means. I should put a trigger label on this topic of conversation. It's what I wrote about. I'm trying to series like Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers didn't make as much noise as I do. Mr. Rogers was a little more graceful. I think it was the sweater. Hey, Big Al. Fred says 2 a.m. California. Wow. What time is it? Are you in California, Fred? Hey, Todd. Do you guys want to talk about subtle realms and angels? Or is that too weird for you? I'll read what I wrote. And I'll read what's in the Course of Miracles. And maybe we'll touch upon why I feel called to talk about this. Well, actually, you know what? I don't know why I feel called to talk about it. Just there's been sort of a shift. I talk with Kat about this. You know, Course of Miracles talks about magic. They have a different view of it. Big Al says, just as this Yogi, take a second to think about your words. Oh, what did I miss? I don't care what I missed. Big Al's got his fingers on the pulse of the conversation. He knows what he's doing. I trust him. Latest guy says, Mr. Rogers put me to sleep when I watch him. Try turning water into wine. Well, as someone who doesn't drink, I'd rather turn my wine into water. All right, I got a duck out of camera. If you hear noise, I'm putting my shoes on, my last shoe on. See, Mr. Rogers never had a duck offline in order to do so. These shoes are tight. They're supposed to be tight. That's why I don't wear them often. But again, it's time. You too, my friend. Arbitori says, have a good one, man. I plan on it. So, has anyone here had experiences with subtle realms, subtle energy, transcendental meditation, of which my own meditative yogic tradition is aligned with, associated with? I do not teach or practice transcendental meditation. I teach and practice primordial sound meditation. Both of them are from the same Vedic yogic school. And they talk about as your meditation deepens, you will have access, more open access, and more experiences with the subtle realms. They don't come out and mention angels or ascended masters or things like that, but it's implied, right? As well as the what they call siddhis in the yogic tradition, which are the psychic abilities. Again, the Course talks about magic. Magic being the things of the ego that we use in order to feel better. They don't say that magic is bad. They say that ultimately it's unnecessary and can prove to be a distraction. But the clairs, which we'll talk about next Friday, not today, but next Friday, aren't really magic. Clairs are clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. What was the last one, Sissy? Hey, Burks Outdoors. How are you, my friend? Hey, Wessa. Need shoes for the streams? We're going for a walk together? Definitely. Let's go for a walk together. Turning wine into grape juice. I don't really drink juice anymore either. Thought about getting some beet juice again. It's good for the blood. It is good for endurance. It's just good for you. But so are beets. But the proper way to eat beets is not from a can. It's to take a whole beet and roast it. It's a whole different experience. A roasted beet is nothing like the beets that you've actually, come sliding. No food should slide, right? You shouldn't hear food. Nothing should slide and make icky noises as it slides out. Like doopy, like it's sticking, like it's slick. That's not food. And it shouldn't come from a can anyway. All right, who have I missed? Have I missed anyone? Hey, Praveen. Hey, Mustafa. Hello, everyone. How are you? Hi, Art, my friend. Good morning. Good morning to you, my friend. Hey, Build? Is that Build? Is Allie here? Hey, Hector. Yeah, there's a lot of moderators. That's because they're all friends. They've been coming hanging out with me for a bit. So tell me, you guys tell me, experiences with angels, with subtle realms, subtle energies? Yes? No? Belief? Not belief? Man, you like the way canned beats jiggle? My food should not jiggle, aside from Jello. And even Jello, I have my doubts. Hey, Chill. Chill, how are you, my friend? Hello from the States. I'm from the States, too. What part of the States are you? Cranberry or beets? Cranberries are okay for you. They're good if you have any urinary tract issues. Cranberries can be very good. Beets overall are healthier. Have you ever read what Tom Robbins says about beets? Tom Robbins, maybe in my opinion, the most underappreciated American author. No more Spurtles today. I have given my last, for this week, sermon of the spatula. We have collectively stood upon the mount and declared that the plural of spatula is, what was it, Marlon? Spatula, spatulas, spurtles. There we go. Long just says 100 experiences with guardian angels. So give us a quick example. Let me read what I wrote, and I also want to read what A Course in Miracles says. Here's what I wrote this morning, and I don't know why. Except I felt a definite urge. I don't really know much about angels. My beliefs aren't set in doubt, nor could I offer definite proof of their existence. Both yoga, philosophy, and A Course in Miracles speak of angels as being more than a possibility, that our lives are guided and are often protected by their presence. Many people who have meditated sincerely for a number of years have opened themselves to these subtle realms and experienced their influence and messages on a deeply personal level. There are those who seem to have never lost their connection to the celestial and receive their guidance as an act of grace. Again, I just don't know enough to offer doubt or proof. Not that I haven't had my experience, but experience isn't always proof, as it could be a connection to some part of the mind. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Anyway, but I love the thought of these companions. At this point in my life, I've reached the very edge of surrender. It seems that I have meditated myself on the edge of subtle realms, and experiences that cannot be explained, and I have little need to try. What I'm asked to surrender is my own defiance, letting go of my need to take a lonely stance against the universe and shake my fists in anger. The funny thing is, I never even knew that I was doing so. Yet the ego itself is a defiance against reality. I have certainly declared myself independent of God and have lived much of my life in this belief. We all have. And now I'm asked to let this go, to surrender my defiance. More so, I'm being told, not by words, but through presence, that I'm not alone. Here's a quote from A Course in Miracles. The rhythm of the universe, the herald of angel songs, all these and more are heard instead of loud, discordant shrieks. However faintly now, I'm beginning to hear. This is a response to the wonderful quote. And by the way, if you show up to Kat and Jack's on her, she has a video based on this quote. If you knew who walked beside you, on the way that you have chosen, fear would be impossible because you are not alone. Fear would be impossible. I've always loved that quote. So guys, You tell me. Hey, Hammer. Good morning, Yogi and everyone. Today's mission to make friends, or at least positive contact with a longtime enemy. Keep us posted. For me, one of the things that always proves helpful is to let go of the concept of enemy. Because everyone is a hero in their own story, whether we're able to see it or not. Your worst enemy in his story believes he did things the only way that was possible at the time. Burke says, I was shot twice, once in my chest, wow, and once in my arm. I believe in guardian angels and swear I heard my dad's voice when I was bleeding out in the dirt. Wow. Burke, that's a powerful story. Todd says, I seen the other side when I got in a bad car accident and had 8 blood transfusions in the helicopter. Got hit by a train at 22, now 45. Warm light, and I knew I was safe. It felt good. Then I woke up. Wow. There will most certainly be Penwagon without your supervision, Lady Sky. Longjo says, about to say that about urinary tract cranberry thing. There is vegan jello that's not made out of gelatin. So I guess officially it's not jello. Mustafa says, I had a spiritual experience about a year ago, but it didn't yield any positive results. Here's the thing with the spiritual experience. We are not to judge what the results are. Maybe the result is the experience itself. If you had a spiritual experience, that shows you that there is a spiritual aspect of yourself to be cultivated, connected with, to explore, to practice self-inquiry. What was this? Who did it happen to? Who was the experiencer? Who was the observer of this? So if we measured as a result that this must equal or amount to this, we're so often left disappointed. And if it's a true spiritual experience, it is the ego that is evaluating it. And the ego can never evaluate spirit. Because in the eye of spirit, in the eye of reality, ego itself does not exist. So that's the problem with science. And I'm not anti-science in the least. My father was a science teacher. I grew up. I won the science fair in 8th grade. I still have the plaque in the next room. Remind me to bring it out and show off. So science is always evaluated by our egoic perspective. However, neuroscience, science and study of the brain, shows there's no such thing as the ego. I think that there would be, to practice mindfulness meditation specifically, would be extremely helpful for scientists, especially neuroscience, because it would help answer the hard question of consciousness, which is, where does consciousness itself derive from? Is it inherent within existence itself? Is it existence? Or is it purely materialistic? Is it the coming together of different things, which is me, completely magical? That you could take particular elements and arrange them in a particular way, and you come up with consciousness, and it happens consistently throughout time. Is absolutely amazing to consider. The more Panthean type of view is that consciousness is inherent within itself. It's the basis of all. It's the basis of basis. It's the basis of everything. All right. Where are we, guys? Anna says, I love the thought of the company of angels too, Yogi. I'm going to talk quite a bit about this, as I'm hoping to bring up some people in the next few weeks. Course in Miracles and yoga and otherwise, who have had experiences. Sissy says, some may believe we are angelic humans that no longer seek nor require validation, not of the mind, but of the dormant DNA. that says, grant us rising angels. Thank you, Sissy. Doug says, Bert, glad you made it. Best wishes. Yep, me too. Brooke says, Todd, I appreciate that. Doc said, couldn't believe I made it. Anna says, I feel protected. Remember that line, if you knew who walked beside you on the way that you have chosen, fear would be impossible. Let me give you one more. Man, the course itself is just filled with. This is my favorite. This is the one that I quoted. The rhythm of the universe, the herald angel songs, all these and more are heard instead of loud discordant streaks. And the workbook, lesson 316, towards the end of the book, my treasure house is full, and angels watch its open doors, that no one gift is lost, and only more are added. God's angels, this is in the workbook, in the epilogue, God's angels hover near and all about. He will not leave you comfortless, nor fail to send his angels down to answer you in his own time. His angels, nor fail to send his angels down to answer you in his own time. So for me, for a long time, I've focused on the practicality, hey Abigail, of A Course in Miracles, as well as yoga and meditation. It was about, as the Buddha said when he was asked what he taught, he said, I teach suffering, teach one thing, suffering and the way out of suffering. And no one can deny that if you are alive in this world, that you will experience no small amount of suffering. So both yoga, meditation, breath work, as well as Course in Miracles, offers us a very, very profound path that leads us out of suffering. So I like focusing on the practicality. This is why we forgive. We don't forgive to let someone off the hook. We don't forgive to even make amends. We forgive to reduce the amount of suffering that we experience in the world. As we do so, we reduce the amount of suffering that's in the world itself, as well as the suffering of others. It's the noblest act that one can perform. It is saying that I refuse to see error within another, that I look deeper to the Christ mind that is within you, because I recognize that it's within me as well. That's forgiveness. Thank you, Abigail. So I haven't dismissed, but as in my own offering, I put aside a lot of the subtle energies that can be very, very helpful. But more often right now, it just keeps coming to my attention. So now I feel sort of compelled to not just act upon it, not just surrender to it, but to bring it a bit more into the forefront. And as I can see in the conversation, I think it's much needed. I think we all need to know that we are connected to something much larger than our own egoic belief system. Hey, Necro. Hey, the real J-Man, is that what it says? You clearly don't know who you're talking to, Skylar. So let me clue you in. Who's Skylar? Hey, Mark. I look like your old school teacher. Hey, Gordy. Roy J says, I'm the one who knocks. Well, I appreciate the politeness. Hey, Kat. Kat says, well, yeah, since you're opening that door again, maybe I can send you an email to reach out again to Angie. I did reach out to Judah. She never replied back. Judah's group of angels that Angie channels. Maybe it's time now. I reached out to have her come up and talk. I did that when I first started bringing guests up. That was something I wanted to do for you, Kat. As the not-so-great Canadian singer-songwriter Bryan Adams said, everything I do it for you. Sorry, I don't mean to slam. I know some people like Bryan Adams. Nothing against him. I don't know him. Um, you know, he just seemed so corporate, in my thoughts. All I can offer is my opinion. Burke says, ever since I was shot, I feel like I walked the line of both realms. It doesn't sound weird at all, my friend. Hey, Daniel. Happy Friday to you, my friend. Mark, never man. Mark, you don't let me off the hook at all. You do not let me besmirch anyone. Hey, can I besmirch Steve Miller? How about Foreigner? Mark, send me an email on the list of people that I can't, on the list of musicians I can't besmirch. And I wasn't besmirching, just my own taste. My own taste, Bryan Adams. All right, did you say Ryan Adams? I do like Ryan Adams. Ryan Adams is a genius. So maybe you misunderstood me, maybe I misspoke. Bryan Adams, the Canadian songwriter. Ryan Adams is English, right? Ryan Adams completely redid Taylor Swift's 1984 album. That was her album, right? Was it 1984? And it was sheer genius. Cat says, oh, okay. Road says, the real J says, what lovely people. Unfortunately, it's 2 a.m., so I must sleep. I have to work tomorrow. Good night. Good night, Jay. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it, my friend. Ryan Adams' first 2 records were cool. And they do like Ryan albums. Joe says he needs to heat up his coffee. We'll be right back. We're only going to be on about 10 more minutes. Mustafa says, believe me, Eric, I dream about my daughter every single day. I mean, every single day to the point where the dream is affecting me because I think about it. How are the dreams? When you wake up, what is the lingering effect of those dreams? I'm going to read something from Rumi for you. Sniper says, waterproof and climbing gear on. I'm going up. Have a great day, y'all. Be safe, Sniper. Be safe. Mark is gonna get stoned. You know what Bob Dylan says. I know Mark knows what Bob Dylan says. Let's bring up Rumi. It's always time for Rumi. Here's my thoughts on when we have those dreams of loved ones who seem lost, and I want to use that very carefully, who seem lost. On the level of the body, they are certainly experienced as lost. But as we're talking about subtle realms, no one's ever lost. In a participatory universe, in a universe that even scientifically, even on a quantum level, is connected by subatomic particles, by quarks, by strings, by vibrations. And if we are vibrations within that one song of the universe itself, the uni, the one verse, how can anything ever be lost? This is what Rumi has to say. One night a man was crying, Allah, Allah. His lips grew sweet with the praising until a cynic said, so, I have heard you calling out, but have you ever gotten any response? The man had no answer to that. He quit praying and fell into a confused sleep. He dreamed he saw Kedar, the guide of souls, in a thick green foliage. Why did he stop praising? Because I've never heard anything back. Kedar said, this longing you express is the return message. The grief you cry out from draws you towards union. Your pure sadness that one helps is the secret cup. Listen to the moan of a dog for its master. That whining is the connection. There are love dogs no one has ever heard of. Give your life to be one of them. Here Rumi is talking about our grief itself is the connection to that which feels lost. That pure sadness that wants help, the pure sadness of when we wake up after the experience of a dream is the connection to that person, because we touched upon them in our dreams, which means they are not absent from our lives. Dreaming is just another realm of this reality. It's a stage of consciousness, not the absence of consciousness, a stage of consciousness in which we very really experience our connection to those that seem lost in the physical. But the physical isn't reality. On a yogic level, the physical senses is an aspect of reality. The four states of consciousness, according to yoga, according to the yogic tradition of meditation, which I teach, you have everyday waking physical reality, you have dreaming reality, you have deep sleep, which is only pure awareness with nothing there to be aware of itself, and then you have the bliss, the bliss state. So when we have a dream, who's to say? Remember Samuel Taylor Coolidge. We'll do just a bit of reading. And then I got to get ready to go, guys. I got to take the garbage out. Did not do it last night. One of my all-time favorite poems, Samuel Taylor Coolidge. What if you slept? And what if, by the way, Mustafa, this is for you, my friend. What if you slept? And what if in your sleep you dreamed? And what if in your dream you went to heaven, and there plucked a strange and beautiful flower? And what if when you awoke you had that flower in your hand? Ah, then what if? So what if? What if your dream was not just a dream, but your actual connection? Now we wake up and we immediately interpret that dream as, I dreamt about someone that I lost. But how about the dream was, I was with someone who I dreamed was lost, but I was shown otherwise. What if? We get to interpret and reinterpret our experiences. We wake up to the physical and we say, this person is no longer with us in the physical, therefore I should be sad because I can't reach out and touch them. You just had a dream in which you did reach out and touch them, in which they did join you. As soon as we begin to reinterpret, the dreams themselves change. And now, instead of becoming one in which we are sad, we welcome them into our dreams. Melissa says, I hope someone improved that chat right there. Name a good song that isn't Summer of '69. You think that's a good song? Fred says, if you're enjoying the stream, thank you so much, Fred. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. And if you're so inclined, guys, I'm doing a membership drive. If anyone would like to invest 99 cents a month to become a member of my channel and keep me able to do this 3 times a day, every single day, 2,000 plus live streams in a row without missing a single day. Eventually, I might have to get a job. People might say, you should get a job. I'm only a year and a half away. I'm 60. I'm only 60.05. Almost, well, half a year away. Less than half away from being 61. So I'm only less than a year and a half away from collecting Social Security. Here's what I want to do. I want to devote my time to writing, to talking about the things I love to talk about, to creating a place of kindness. That place of kindness is not on the internet. The internet is the reflection of that place. This channel is a reflection of that place. That real place lies within my heart. So I'm continuously working to create that kindness of kindness places that exist, which is the heart that is forgiving and can only extend love, is fully in tune in who it truly is, and then just gives it and gives it and gives it away. That's what I want to do. I'll be honest, I don't know if I can. Don't know if I'm able to do it, but I'm going to try for as long as I'm able. So if anyone would consider that 99 cents a month for membership, this is what we have. We have me showing up, for better or for worse. Sometimes it's definitely for the worse. Like when I talk for 45 minutes about spatulas. I didn't know that, Sniper. That's what started this whole conversation about Bryan Adams, because I told Kat, everything I do it for you. And I mentioned the not so great. I didn't say he was bad. I said the not so great. But for some people, he might be the greatest in the world. Somebody right now, could be Kat, has a poster of Bryan Adams on her bedroom wall. And every night might look at that and go, oh, Bryan, you're so dreamy. Someone might have replaced their Davy Jones, their Bobby Sherman, their David Cassidy, or Sean Cassidy poster with a poster of Bryan Adams. I don't judge. Le bleu tiba tres bien Yogi. All right, help me out with the translation. Mustafa says, I find myself sweating, sometimes wake up in the middle of the night and I get confused while working or doing something. Sometimes I feel like something is trying to communicate with me. So just be open to the experience without interpretation. If there is something trying to communicate, someone trying to communicate, just be open. Be open. See what's there. All right, guys, I got to get ready to go. Does a dream have any connection to the future? It could. Or is it the message of the future? And what is the reason? According to yogic philosophy, that we dream because we are experiencing the after effects of the karma of the day, or of the week, or of the month, or of the year, or further still. Now, there are different types of dreams. There are prophetic dreams. And there are dreams of communication. There are dreams that bleed over from other realms. But mostly, our average dream is a playoff of the thoughts and actions that we've had throughout the days. As we deepen our meditation and as we practice, if we keep a dream journal, if we become more aware of our dreams, then we're able to decipher our dreams in a very meaningful way. That sniper can't be timed out. It is impossible for a sniper to be timed out. Hey, Nino, how are you, my friend? Kat says her poster is Angelina Jolie. Hey, Tandra, how are you? It's Singing Saturday tomorrow, Tandra. I'm just putting that out there. Just putting that out there. Hey, my cat is awful noisy today. Sniper says, only Eric can put me on the naughty step. Longer says, don't time out the sniper. Yeah, I'm the only one who could do so, and I would never dream of it. Kat says, message before, Yogi. Used to keep a sort of diary because I forget them. It is good to write your dreams down. This afternoon, maybe, we'll talk about Buddhist and Sufi dream practices. 20 likes. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. So I apologize for offering the thoughts on the memberships. I don't want to be someone. I don't want to push anyone I don't want to push anyone to do anything. Uh, I want to put it out there. Um, it is a big goal of mine, as such as goals are in this point in my life. Sissy says she loves practicing dream interpretation. So, message before. Are we talking about here on the live stream? I'm lost again in my own conversation. Oh, there it is. So Yogi, a couple of triggers. I've journaled and was divinely inspired to start listening to them as shining light moments. This has to see them differently. Start listing them as shining the light moments. Just had to see them differently. I am looking forward to our morning talk. Definitely want to hear more. So, yep, we're going to talk more about this for sure. And I'm going to bring up some people. I'm actually considering, I don't know anyone, well, maybe I do. I probably do, and just slipped my mind. You might want to do some angel card readings. I know Lucy has approached me about coming back up and doing some tarot readings. I don't know if she does angel readings, so I'm going to fill that out. But if anyone else does, let me know. Even if it's just coming up for a couple minutes and saying, hey, I'll pull a card for whoever wants one. And, we do it every so often. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with it. I never do. But it just seems something that it's time now to explore. But little shoves, intuitive nudges. Mr. Something Else says, a buck or two. I got you just for breathing. I appreciate that, Mark. Longjo says, have a bunch of things. Regarding angels stepped in right at the right moment. Something had to be sent from above. Mr. Something Else says, hey, Yogi, I will sub up payday. I want you to know that 99 causes like 548 New Zealand dollars, and the way you guys are tanking. Yeah, it does seem to be going down a bit, doesn't it? How do the memberships work anyway? Does it just bill you monthly? Yeah, it bills you monthly on a credit card. So it's 99 cents, so it'd be less than $12 a year. I have a goal, sort of. Give me your tears, Gypsy. Gladly, my friend. Only if you return the favor. I'm going to call Brian Adams. Don't mention me. I've always been a big Brian Adams fan. It's my favorite. So instead of something being sent from up above, imagine if they're already here right now. Something to consider. Long John says that would be cool with tarot readings. She pulled a card for me below. She has mentioned Ryan. Is it Brian? Ryan. Ryan Adams is the English. He's the one who did the remake of Taylor Swift's album. Bryan Adams, the one who did Summer of '69. Imagine if Ryan Adams became your next favorite band. I do like Ryan Adams. It's Bryan Adams. Or do I have them reversed? I don't know. I'm mixing up my Adams. Let's switch gears entirely, and let's go with one of Squirrel Sniper's favorite bands, Adam and the Ants. Adam and the Ants or Adam Ant? Which one was it? Ryan Adams is a Southern American country rock. Okay, I like Ryan Adams. Bryan Adams is the one who did Summer of '69. I'm not saying he's bad, in my opinion. I don't want to judge good or bad. People like who they like. For me, he was just a little too bland. Earworm. Catchy. You might find yourself humming the song. But just for me personally, he lacked the substance to actually move me in a, I'm thinking John Coltrane's Love Supreme, in which you are honestly in the presence of the sound of the celestial. You're hearing the universe itself speak through there's a wonderful photo of John Coltrane. He has a mathematical formula of how he produced Love Supreme. Melissa says, has anyone heard of a large pink rectangle thing with balls of light circulating in the frame that floats and shoots little exploratory arms out in all directions? Seriously? I have not heard of that specifically, but I agree. Too mainstream, sissy. Perfectly summed up. That sounds like the visions that you get, and it might be different for everyone. As you meditate, as your meditation practice deepens, you will see such things. In and of themselves, they don't mean anything, which is why you don't want to pursue them. But when they happen, they are signs of your meditation deepening and that you are truly entering those subtle realms. So as a sign, they mean quite a bit, but you don't want to chase signs. That's when they become a distraction. Hey Coco, what about his work on Zorro and Robin Hood? I am not anti Bryan Adams. Just for me, it was too mainstream. For me, here's an example. The Beatles album Let It Be, as produced by Phil Spector, was glossy. I liked it. But it just sounded too mainstream, too corporate, too much time in the studio. It didn't have rawness to it. And the Beatles agreed with it. Decades later, Paul McCartney reproduced and issued, he called it Let It Be, it was either stripped or raw, in which they took out what Phil Spector called the wall of sound, the overproduction, and allowed the music to speak for itself. And it is absolutely awesome. It might be my favorite Beatles album. In my top 3 for sure. Top 4 for sure. Yes, thank you, sissy. So yeah, I'm not anti Bryan Adams. It's just not my taste. Man, there is a fracture in the Yogi verse. I've created my own fracture. You are. You know what? I am pro Coco singing. That's what I am. Coco came up and showed us what it's all about. Bryan Adams cannot, see how I'm trying to switch this around? Bryan Adams cannot hold a candle. Bryan Adams could not go to the candle store. He couldn't go to Candles, or Candles Bath and Beyond. He couldn't go to the Candle Hut. He couldn't go to the Candle Shack. He couldn't go to Candles R Us and buy a candle and hold it next to Coco while singing a song. He couldn't do it. There'd be an invisible wall of resistance. He would step close to it and go, wow, I'm not quite talented enough to stand here with my candle next to the legendary Coco. I stand by my statement, Coco. I heard you sing. You think Brian and Ryan sound the same? Ryan has a certain rawness to it. I wish I could play it right now for you guys. Lungner says, where's Jace been? Jace is doing his own thing. Jace doesn't really resonate with my message any longer. So he has parted company. I wish him all the best. I wish him love. I wish him energy. I mention his channel quite often. Jace does wonderful things. He's a wonderful person. In my heart, he's always a friend. And I wish him nothing but success. Mark says, wait, I don't know that Beatles album. Beatles record, say it slow, please. Or type it. Let It Be. From the song. It is awesome. Hey, Praveen. Praveen says, love you, Yogi, sir. I appreciate that, Praveen. Lucy says, yes, Jace is amazeballs. Where are we? Sissy says, it's all in fun, guys. Emmylou Harris sang on Brian's second record. Sissy says, Avin, the woman, the myth, the legend, the one and the only Coco. Live from Yogi's basement. Let's see. Marlon says the Yogi verse. What was the taboo? Not choosing the ego? Well, of course it's a Yogi verse, but it's also the Marlon verse. We are the universe itself. That is actually the complete absence of the ego. The ego would say, I am separate and alone from the universe itself. That I am my own creation and that I stand in defiance of all that a arbitrary God has seemingly created. But a Yogi verse, a Marlon verse, a Sissy verse, a Long John verse, that's something else entirely. Love you too, Praveen. Football match, sir. Japan versus Ghana. Japan leading by 1. It's a high-scoring game for football. Sorry. I do try to make the best of it. Hey, Opie. Not much going on. Thank you, Sissy. Let me click on that link. Longer says that sucks. I hate when people fall off, but that's just part of life that we need to accept. I agree. I'm more in the seeming absence of all friends. But I can only do what I do. Do you know what I mean? I have my own practice that I take very sincerely. So I got to stick by it. Some might say I was being stubborn, and probably so. Probably so. I know that my decisions that I've made regarding my channel, and my channel is only an expression of my own practice of A Course in Miracles and the ethics of yoga. I know that they hurt people. And I feel bad about that. I apologize for that. It was never my intent. But I did not see any other way that I could have done things. I'm not saying there wasn't another way of doing things. Had I been smarter, I probably could have figured something out. All I know is that I am instructed to cast no one out, or to do so when it's at the very limits of my patience. And what I found is that my patience doesn't have a limit. I'm not saying that I am always patient, but patience itself doesn't have a limit. Only my resistance does. So you want to get to those limits so you can take that next little step and open up a little bit more. Hi, Bry Mac. Wilson says, can those things you mentioned ever slip into our reality? Yes. When not meditating, they're alive, right? They're not alive nor not alive. Not sure if that makes sense. To say that they're alive means that they might be alive and exist separate from us. So we really don't want to use that, is it alive or not alive? It is a energy system existing with the same energy system in which we exist in. So all things are possible. You can definitely experience them. And remember, this reality isn't separate from other realities. There is only the veil within the awareness itself that keeps us being aware from everything happening at once. Thank you, Mark. It's what yogis do, dude. I see the beauty in all of you. That doesn't make me anyone more special, important, or unique than you and your universe. You're certainly special and unique to me, my friend. But Buddha scores in the rebound. But does the Buddha dunk? That's what I want to know. I think he does. Then why do you have mods and warnings for people to be civil? Seems like you have no problems casting people out. How could a mod cast someone out? And mods or warnings for people to be civil? Respect. Respect. Not alive nor not alive, I wish. Hey, Jamie. Yep, mods can, but that's not why we have mods here. We have one super mod. We have a mod that helps the conversation flow, that helps keep things respectful, and everyone else is here to connect. But we have a couple top mods. Yeah, we're just talking and chilling. I actually got to go. It is late. Well, I actually talked just about an hour. Something I seldom ever do in the mornings. This girl literally just said he casts people out. Well, you know, as Walt Whitman said, do I contradict myself? So be it. I contradict myself. Thank you, Praveen. Drench is ease of access to support one another. Yes. Wilson says, someday the piecing together of dissociation knowledge will open up such terrifying vistas of reality and our frightful position therein that we shall either go mad from the revelation or flee or maybe accept it completely. Thank you, Praveen. Oh, from the deadly light into the peace and safety of a new dark realm. Beautiful. I love that, Wassa. Mark said, piss off and thank you. Thank you, Mark. Hey, Laura. Anna sends me beaver luck. It's been a couple days. Man, that's been a wonderful morning with a fox yesterday. I'll be posting some of the videos maybe today. By the way, piss off is a compliment in the UK. And a deer and a fox. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you all later. I'll be live again 1 o'clock. As of now, no guests today that I'm aware of. I don't know. That might change. Got some great guests coming up next week. Come on by and hang out. We'll probably be doing some singing tomorrow. If you want to come up and sing a song. All right. Long John, thank you. Love you too, my friend. See ya.